Done 4 years in the Army or the Marines or whatever, bring him home and then say, I was like, well, everything you've done doesn't really mean shit.
It was kind of upsetting to find out that what I did in Iraq didn't carry over at all to the civilian side. At best, I could get a job making $8 an hour in the back of an ambulance, putting on Band-Aids and taking vital signs.
So you're going from a full-time duty, intensity, job and pay, to unemployment insurance. And that just barely meets the needs. So after about 3 weeks, then they're in my office looking for work.
Recently hired by a Cloverdale, Oregon trucking company, Rick Dietz is a Navy veteran and one of Preston's recent success stories.
Employers hiring a vet, they would get responsibility, they get somebody who'd be there on time, they get a good worker, they got somebody who's got respect for themselves and got respect for others, and they're dependable.
Most veterans, I like to hire them because they're disciplined. They'll listen to what you tell them to do. They follow orders. They're trained. Most all veterans, whatever they're doing for work, they've been trained to do that specific job. Number one, though, is they're listen to you.
The veteran wants to work at a good, solid job that is meaningful. That's what they've done for the last years they've been in the service. That job has meaning. They want to do a job that has meaning and value and growth, as we all do.
But for so many women veterans coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan, they're finding when it comes to landing a job, military service is actually a liability.
It has been a frustrating 6 months for Erin Lloyd. Almost every day she hits the laptop looking for work.
I think it's just kind of lowering my self-confidence most of all.
She spent 5 years in the Navy as a master at arms, traveled the world, earned several citations and awards, then got an accounting degree at Rutgers. But remarkably, she says her military service is holding her back.
This misconception about them being so much different from what we need in the civilian world is absolutely false. These are exactly the type of people we need. And the fact that Erin is unemployed is a national embarrassment.
A national embarrassment, perhaps, but civilian employers also worry about the liability of physical injury and emotional scars.
Joe is one of an estimated 600 homeless veterans from Iraq and Afghanistan. That's not many compared with the 200,000 or so from all wars who are currently homeless. But these vets are showing up even more quickly than after Vietnam, a war that left nearly 70,000 homeless, an even greater number than died in combat. Joe can't lift more than 10 pounds, so he couldn't go back to being an auto mechanic. Instead, he took a job with the National Guard patrolling Penn Station in New York. He says he lasted 6 months before landing in the hospital again with back pain and a bone infection.
And at that point, I gave up. I simply gave up. I know I can't work. I have no income coming in. I'm finished.
Sort of like you got lost in the system?
Absolutely. Lost. I'm still lost. I'm still dizzy for what happened.